Now, I think I speak for the Sorare scouts and managers around the world that have been around the block once or twice when I say game week 1 was on fire. The football was back in full festival fashion, and everywhere I'm looking across the timeline, in the Telegram group, in the comment section of videos, you guys have been smashing all the streaks, which has been great. Some of you have had some kind of streak heartbreak, you know, it's been close but no cigar at times. But here on the channel we've been running 2 budget limited streak capable lineups, and the first one that is hit, that is bagged the streak, is La Liga. This is a team that we built for under 50 quid and we absolutely smashed it, we absolutely hosed it in this week, but the job is not done yet. We have only hit the first streak, and in this one shot system where it's a 5 times multiplier on all the streaks that are running at the moment, we have got ourselves on the train as it's left the station. But like I just mentioned, the job is not done yet. We have only hit the first streak. We have got to be getting to streak number 3. That is the target that we set for the La Liga £50 budget team that we set out. In the video today, I'll show you how the team done, what moves I'm going to be making to make sure that for next week, for game week 3, that we're going to be getting onto the second run of the La Liga streaks. But on top of that, there's actually been another promotion that Sorare's been quietly running in the background. And if you're a Sorare scout or manager from around the world who hasn't played Sorare this calendar year, there's an extra bonus that me and you can get involved in. At any point in the video, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And if you are a Sorare manager who used to play the game that hasn't done so already, look for the Team Quinny link that's in the description in this video. There's an extra little bonus that you'll get for coming back to the game and playing in my team. But if you're brand new to Sorare and you've not opened up your account yet, you're just looking for the top link in the description. It'll also be in the pinned comment. That's going to get you $150, pounds, euros, whatever your currency is, of market credit to help you go out and build your first team. The amount of credit you get is linked to the purchases you make on site, so be sure to read the terms and conditions. If you do get stuck, if you've got any questions, just reach out into the comment section or reach me on social media and I'll help you out as well, of course. But if you need an actual tutorial, a beginner explainer video, the new to Sorare Start Here playlist, you're also going to find that in the description of the video. By clicking on any of those links, you do support me and all the content here at the channel, so I sincerely mean it. If you get stuck, if you've got any questions, drop a comment, reach out to me and I'll do my best to help you out. But yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it, because we set the La Liga budget team up for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a league that I know very, very well. I've watched it very closely, especially from a Sorare perspective over the last couple of years. But secondly, I did think this would be the hardest league, if you don't touch Real Madrid and Barca players, the bigger players in the division, the hardest league to go after the streaks for, especially to go all the way to the top 5, which is why part of this strategy wasn't really to go all the way to the top 5, but to get ourselves a good way across it. And because it's a more difficult division, the prices should be a wee bit more budget friendly, and you never know, we might get a little bit extra lucky in that situation and smash on the leaderboard. Now, coming into game week 1, if any of you caught episode 1 of the budget La Liga Road to Glory series that we're running here, the main question mark, the main headache I had for picking that team was the goalkeeper. Now, I told all of you guys I will never ever ever buy a Paulo Gazzaniga. I had a full super rare Girona collection, full, like every card except for Gazzaniga. And the reason for that is, number 1, he was way too expensive for how crap I think he is, and number 2, I had super rare David Soria, who is the goalkeeper I ultimately ended up picking up to complete the team. And what a classic goalkeeper option he was. A 68-point clean sheet and a 2-0 win for Getafe against Celta Vigo was a sight for sore eyes. Big David the Wall Soria. He did pick up a booking towards the end, but he got 17 goalkeeping points and all around on top of his clean sheet bonus. This could have been an even punchier score for Soria if he didn't throw away possession 17 times and miss 17 passes as a result. Now, when we were building this team, we were very conscious, and I was making sure, because it's a kind of beginner, not a beginner video, but you know, it's a budget squad building video, so ideally I'm trying to show you the thought process behind the players we selected, etc. Rafa Marin dropped in a 51, which for those centre backs that are going to play every week, they're in a dominant enough side and you expect them to get a nice number of passes. With a clean sheet and a kind of worst case scenario, Rafa Marin at 51 is absolute job done. Mingueza did lose 2-0, so no clean sheet bonus for him, no decisives or anything like that. But a guy that does take set pieces and attacking wing back, again, worst case scenario, 49 points, we can take that all day. We've absolutely nailed it with Pepelu. We've got very lucky with the last man tackle. It must be said, it probably should have went to Jose Gaya. But all the same, this guy is really starting the season off on the right foot. He's got a lot of set piece action in this match, and he's shown a nice little pedigree of AA to build upon what we've seen from him Valencia last year. So although the last man tackle is quite fortuitous, Pepelu feels like a really solid midfield player for Sociedad, for Valencia, because this was against Sociedad, a really tough opponent, you must say. And really, I think Soria and Pepelu really were the ones that carried us over the line. Now, we did get captain Jerry Moreno to just about bring in 63 points in the 47 minutes that he played. Sadly, left the pitch injured, which is very Jerry Moreno, isn't it? We're coming into the season with high expectations and hope. He was fit, he was firing, he was fully, ready to go for the season, and they made him a great budget pickup. He was very popular, and I've seen a lot of these players that were in my budget La Liga build in your teams as well that was smashing streaks, which really warms the heart and puts a big smile on my face. You guys enjoyed the content, you've backed the scouting, and it's all paid off for everyone, which has been brilliant. But we have big question marks over Jerry Moreno, and a lot of these players all these players are playing different teams next week. So are they as viable to be going into the second streak? Now, we've hit 376 points. The first streak was 360, so we've got past that in good order. But like I mentioned in the intro, if you're a former Sorare manager or you're a dormant Sorare manager, there's an extra bonus that we can smash for in an in-season competition. Any team that I play and any team that you play hit 320 points. Now, the only condition is it needs to be in the same scarcity. And this weekend, the only in-season competitions I had was the limited ones, which was La Liga. And thanks to that 376 points, me and Fisher JPE are going to be getting an extra $20 in this one. Fisher JPE started playing Sorare back in 2021. So this is an old account. If you know anyone that used to play Sorare and, they haven't done so in the calendar year of 2025, get them a click on that Team Quinny link that's in the description of the video, and anything that they do, if they're going for streaks and all the rest of it, they're going to get this extra $20 on top of it. And Fisher here has went out and he's played 4 limited teams to come back to Sorare with an absolute bang, and I guess across all of these teams they all broke into the 300 point range, and he only got he got 2 of them that were eligible to hit the 320 points, which will get him just his $20 extra. Sadly, he never quite made it to the 400 point mark to get on for the actual 5x streaks, but I think he has some really nice builds here, and I tell you what, between Trafford, Raya, Bobby Sanchez, and Dean Henderson, he's absolutely nailed his goalkeeper pick. I think the forwards are the ones that have really let him down. Sesko, Bukayo Saka, Jared Bowen, even João Pedro and Gyökeres here. There was some okay scores in defence with Cucurella and Van Hecke, maybe even De Ligt you would say is an okay score, and really the only midfielder, maybe Tonali, but really Bruno Fernandes. There's maybe like one squad in theory that Fisher could have put together to go after the 400 point mark, but sadly it wasn't to be. But he gets a nice little consolation prize of getting that extra $20. We also had Sausage FC getting on the action this week. Now, I hit the 320 point score, Sausage didn't, so sadly we've not got that $20 unlocked this week, but the competition or the promotion is available for a few weeks yet. So like I say, anyone who's not got involved still has plenty of time, and it was very, very close. This team here, 303 points, Captain Haaland, and it was really, I think, Matt Sells that's let us down. If he'd kept that clean sheet, he would have cruised in with this one, and he had some really nice players. He still got Tarkowski, so Tarkowski maybe still could come in here right at the end if he smashes out like a 75 pointer, 73 pointer. He could maybe just about do it. DNP Damsgaard would have hurt him. And yeah, Reinders could have played in this team over Watkins maybe, and he would have been just about fine. So close for Sausage. I think we'll be hitting that next week. But the third player here, Gote Grun, I've smashed it in limited. I've hit the score that we need to. But in rare, do you know what? I forgot all about MLS. I did have MLS lineups going out this game week, so I have actually hit it in rare. But sadly, Gote Grun hasn't quite got there yet. 297. His account was also made in 2021, so these are people using their old account coming back on the link just to further highlight that. And yeah, I knew, I thought, oh, this guy actually has a player still to run, but no, it's a DNP Carlos Forbes Borges, which this guy has just missed out on snatching 100 quid on his return to Sorare. Captain Zorgan, a really nice rare build, and in behind the rest of the team here. And for Goaty Grun to click on that link and just get 6 rare cards and a limited in at the last minute, I think he's done really well here. A wee bit unlucky not to get that extra $100 into the coffers, but I'm quite confident we'll smash that next week. And as for Sausage in the limited one, I'm quite sure we're going to go and smash that next week as well. Now, I must say, for the Road to Glory series, I kind of underused the missions, the play tab that was here. Sorare did some amazing little, decisive-based ones to win Essence and XP and whatever over the weekend, and I just kept missing the boat. By the time I realised they were there, my players that were playing on that day had already ran, so I kept missing it, sadly. But this is something that I need to make sure, and you guys need to make sure, that we're optimising, that we're maximising every single weekend. And my morning routine is very much became a case of open up Sorare, spin the wheel, open the common pack. The common La Liga stuff hasn't really, I've not really got many La Liga cards. I'm not really holding my breath on anything happening here. Maybe more of a focus for the Premier League commons that we'll run. But yeah, missions to win Essence and XP is something we need to do a lot better at. So now we come into game week 3 with this La Liga squad. You've seen all the guys that we've got. We need to, this week, do 4 more points than what we did last week, and we're going to get $50. Now, this team only cost £50, right? Which I think in dollars is maybe like 60 or something like that. So if we get through the first 2 streaks, we're going to be breaking even. We're going to be washing our face with it. We've already had the first streak payout of $25, which was about £16. And I need that money now to reinforce this squad here. This is the tail of the tape. If we just ran the same 5 again next week, we have Villarreal at home at Girona. Now, Gazzaniga got suspended. It's going to be the backup keeper next week. And I actually think that will be great for Girona because Gazzaniga is such a bad keeper. I've got a feeling that they come into that game maybe a little bit better defensively. We don't even know if Moreno's going to make the match. And, Rafa Marin, I'm not too confident on the clean sheet for him. So I don't think him as like a safe little 50, 55 range centre-back is really on the cards. We still like Pepelu, although he's away. We still like Soria, although he's away. And we still like Mingueza, although he's away. Now, you guys know me. I don't like to reinvent the wheel. I don't like to gerrymander, oh, this is the best pick for this weekend or anything like that. I went back to the shopping list. I went back to the watch list that we made on episode 1 to see if there was reinforcements that I would have acquired for the first match day that are now cheaper, that now look like they've got a very good situation coming in to match day 2, game week 3. And the very first player that I went and picked up, only using the hot streak money, was Rodrigo Riquelme. Now, at point of recording, he's not even played his first game yet. So he's playing Elche, I think it's Elche, tonight. Okay, so let's see how Rodrigo Riquelme, We'll see how Rory does coming into this one. But I think he'll have a good game tonight. And even if we get the word before the deadline lock next week, if he does play well in this game, we might even be able to flip him or trade him into someone who's a bit safer. But Rodrigo Riquelme came right down in price. We got him for under £7 on auction. And this is a guy that before game week 1 had started, his price was getting into the £10, £11, £12 kind of range. So not quite 50% off, but not far off. And we got this from the secondary market from someone that had crafted it. So a nice little budget midfielder that we've picked up here that we maybe need to see how he does against Elche before I'm hyper confident on him, but a guy that I think will be able to replace Rafa Marin, and a guy that, will probably score, worst case scenario, about the same as Rafa Marin, but because he's an attacking midfielder and a forward based winger, has got every chance of just sneaking a wee decisive in for the upcoming game week. Betis are at home to Alaves. Now, Alaves were very good defensively this weekend, of course, but Betis at home, they're quite an attacking-based team. It's a good fixture, you would say. And then I need some insurance. I need an insurance policy in case Jerry Moreno isn't actually going to play yet. And coming into the game week, I had a bit of a hero at my rare selection. We were doing gallery reviews for the members on the channel, and we found Viktor Ziganikov rare classic for £3 on the market. I had to buy him, I had to have him. He scored me 80 points in rare. He's going to be a part of a very good all-star lineup for me this weekend. And spoiler, we've picked him up in limited to be our insurance policy for Jerry Moreno. Now, as we've already seen, it's Villarreal Girona in the next match, and Ziganikov is the set piece taken forward we're all looking for. Against Rayo Vallecano, he had massive all-around. He just about managed to squeak in a wee assist in Girona's 3-1 loss. And I've got a lot of confidence that with someone like Ziganikov, even if Villarreal do have a good match, he's still going to clip in a similar score to what Jerry Moreno did, a high AA based match. And yeah, he might not quite get to the 60 mark that Jerry got to, but he should break into the 50s. And even if he doesn't snatch in that little decisive, that little assist, it should help us maintain the sort of scoring profile that we did last week, because we were only 4 points off last week. I basically need to make sure that I can have a team that does the exact same score that we have on screen here, but plus 4 points. So Mingueza and Pepelu and Soria, between the three of them, if they can kind of hold the same average, maybe Soria doesn't get the clean sheet, maybe Mingueza smashes, that sort of thing, but if they can hold that same kind of average, then for Rodrigo Riquelme and for Saganikov, I'm looking for them just to pick up a little bit of slack here of like 115 points or so, including the add-on that we need, maybe 120 that we didn't get from these guys last week to get to the 380 mark. And guys, doesn't this just have all the ingredients? We have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday run on this team. We've got players in all different teams. We don't have anyone playing against each other as well, which is nice, because we did have Soria versus Mingueza last week. And this is a team I'm very confident can go and hit that 380 points. And then we'll be doing the same thing this time next week to see who we're going to bring in to add a few more points into the squad with the streak money that hopefully we capture to keep us going. The target is to hit step 3. Now it's step 1 because I've reinvested the streak money that we've won. For all intents and purposes on like accounting or whatever for this strategy, I'm not changing this from being a £50 budget team to now being a £75 budget team or whatever. It still costs me the same. This is an in-game win that I've used to reinforce it. But once we get to the 380 point mark, if we weren't confident in going to the next step, we could sell a few of the players to make that streak money back that we've just spent. And then with the streak money that we're going to recoup on step 2, we could just withdraw and call the team even, you know, and then run for the rest of the season with a little batch of men that can just run around, do streak 1, streak 2 across the season, that within the first 2 weeks, we have had it completely wash its own face. But for me, the strategy is much more to get to the 400 point mark and operate a similar type of strategy, but by keeping the players that we've got. So this is a kind of decision, a kind of strategy point that we'll wrestle with a little bit more next week, because for this game week, I'm very confident that I've ID'd the sort of players. And Saganikov we got for a tenner, Rodrigo Riquelme, we got him on auction, we got Rodrigo Riquelme on the secondary market. We've bought both of them in for the exact amount that we won on that streak there. And I recommend for any of you guys out there that are playing along at home with me, you take that streak money to replace your Jerry Moreno, to upgrade your 5th man spot, whatever it is you think is going to be the headache, the question mark coming into this weekend. Now with Jerry Moreno, as the week rumbles on, we'll probably see him in training, see he wasn't at training. It might not be a guy you need to replace. I'm trying to be proactive with it, because even in the event I have Jerry Moreno, we could even just put him in here as a double striker situation if we're not too sure about Rodrigo Riquelme going to play. And even at that, the amount of options I'm now slowly building up with as the season goes on and as the streaks go on, I've got different combinations of, I've now got 2 defenders. I could play Rafa or Oscar. I could play Pepelu or Rodrigo Riquelme. And I've now got 2 strikers. And we're slowly building up the roster. We're slowly building up the options to be able to roll with the punches and, you know, mix it up with the different fixtures for better and for worse. Auctions have slowed down quite a bit. And depending on, you know, what your route to goal is, the secondary market could be very good, because the primary market, auctions and instant buys, the prices of them went up quite a lot because of all the promotions that Sorare were running. They're now calming down a fair bit, but if you go into the secondary market, there is a lot of people undercutting the primary market because they've crafted a card and they want to turn it into money. So you'll also have the ability to go in and buy these guys like I did with Riquelme off the secondary market. But by all means, don't just instant buy. Feel free to send a little offer, £1 or 2 less, to see if you can get even more out of your budget. But yeah, it's going to be a long week, and I'm looking forward to this La Liga weekend, you know, with everyone playing on a different day of the week almost. We have 2 guys on Sunday, you know, but we've got the full weekend covered. We're going for streak 2. We've got a lot of, you know, Saganikov is a hero of the gallery. Rodrigo Riquelme is a former hero of the gallery as well. And this team is, you know, it feels a lot like Barcelona, doesn't it? It's really coming together. We've smashed the first streak. I cannot wait to see the scores that come in this coming weekend. And I'm also really looking forward to seeing what your thoughts and feelings are down in the comment section of the video below. Who are you reinforcing your team with for La Liga or Bundesliga or France or whatever next week? Stay tuned to the channel as well, because we'll be doing the same thing with the Premier League league. We've still got Everton to play, so let's see how we go with that. On screen are now some other stuff that I've made that the YouTube thinks you might enjoy. If you haven't done so already, please do hit like and subscribe for more content like this. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.